Hey everyone, thanks so much for stopping on by. My name is Brandon Schaefer, and today I am with Lori Hurley of Social Meets Digital. We came across each other. I'm almost embarrassed to say, was it 10 years ago? Either I'm getting older or I don't know what's going on, but
it was about a decade. It was about a decade ago.
oh my goodness. And you were doing the social media management stuff, and I think I reached out to you in regards to that, and then we followed each other on LinkedIn, over the years, and anymore, with those COVID stuff going on, I just felt like wanting to get to know people better.
Right.
And I when I was going through all this, the people that I had some different interactions with throughout the years, I was like, this is great content when we just talk about what we've been up to, what you're doing now. So I just started recording them and creating some content out of it. So that's what I wanted to do with you today. So I see a lot of stuff on LinkedIn from you in regards to Google reviews and reputation management, which is so important, man. So do you want to kind of share for a couple minutes on what you've been up to and what type of service? What percentage of time do you think they should focus on actually outbound asking for reviews? Do you do a lot of outbound asking, like in terms of reaching out, or do you leave something on the table, leave us a review, or what's your thought process on that?
Well, that's an interesting question because a lot of my clients, and I think yours, are people like us that might not have a brick and mortar. We offer business services, coaching, teaching. So how do you get those? Like I saw you just got a really nice review. You posted it, and that was great. And that's a great thing to do, to toot your own horn. There's nothing wrong with that. But for people that don't have a brick and mortar, where you could have a kiosk where someone could leave a review when they leave, just have them fill it in, hand them a postcard or whatnot. I'm going to give you two really good tips. On Google My Business, there is a little button that says leave us a review or review. And you can click that and you can send that. Like, let's say you did business with me and I wanted you to review me. I could click that and send it to you, and you'd get a link with my little message, say, hey, Brandon, can you give me a review? So it goes right into your mailbox and you can go, oh, yeah, sure, I'll give you a review. Bam, bam, you type it out, and it's placed immediately on Google. Right there. I can't edit it. I can't do anything with it. So if you're going to say something bad about me, I can't change it, but obviously I'm only going to send that nice button to people that I think had a good experience with me. But for businesses, you can do that. The other thing you can do is you can take that same review button on Google and you can have your web person embed it on your website. So my husband has it on his website. And he writes software for the hotel industry. So he has a ton of clients, and to get reviews, he has right on the top of his website, leave us a review, and people can just click it. And then I always say, connect it to Google, because Google reviews have the most impact. So you can automate the whole thing. The only caution I have with that is, if you do that, be prepared for somebody who might click it and maybe they didn't have a good experience. So you have to follow through. And that's where somebody like me does that for a business, because sometimes it's impossible. One of my clients, we have reviews for them today. They have 137 reviews that they received yesterday. So my team and myself, we're answering those, and almost all of them are good, but there are some that are not that great. And those are the ones we set aside. We obviously answer them immediately. In fact, we answer those first, and communicate with the business. And that's where it's really important to have someone who's going to be there to be either your intermediary or working with somebody that is appointed within the company as their review person. So, we have a relationship. It's like, hey, Susie, here's 3 bad reviews. Take care of them. Tell me the resolution so that I know it's done. So I'm also their accountability person. I help them be accountable. I'm not their accountability person. But it's forming that relationship with a client and having them trust that they know my team and our eyeballs are on those reviews 7 days a week. We don't take weekends off. I have, like I said, I have a team. I have people that help me, but everybody that answers reviews for me has been trained by me. They all speak English. It's not, somebody, and I'm not knocking people in the Philippines or India at all. that very good people, but they have to be able to speak and write English, because you want a response that's going to make sense in the voice of your client. So like, for example, I have a plumbing company that I answer reviews for. And I just read a review this morning where the customer said, this guy was a hero. He should be an Avenger. He got that hair clog out of my drain. And, he's my new superhero. So I answered it in kind of the same lingo, like, give this guy a cape. I think that's what I said, and I answered it that way, because you have to answer in the voice of your client. And, there's all kinds of different clients, but I could go on and on. But to answer your initial question, there's a review button right on Google that you can email to your clients, and you can embed that on your website to ask for a review if you don't have a brick and mortar.
Beautiful. So 2 things. And I know I'm keeping you over longer than what I had said. But maybe we can circle back another time. But 2 closing kind of things that I want to get your thoughts on. Working 365 days a year, 7 days a week. I just said that to a client the other day. Like, your clients do 90% of the business on Saturdays and Sundays. Your marketing team that works 9 to 5 does not cut it. You're better off. You're almost better off not doing 9 to 5 and doing 5 to midnight and then Saturdays and Sundays. Mm-hmm. I mean, because people are buying stuff on their phone at nighttime, at 9 o'clock at night, 9:30, 10:30. They have questions, classes, things they want to take for their kids, especially parents. They're working during the day. They have stuff going on. So that's the first thing, is you have to work with somebody. You don't have to do anything, but I'm just recommending that by working with someone like yourself that can provide that type of coverage, you're going to do yourself a favor. You're going to do yourself a favor as a business owner. The business hours are 9 to 5. The e-commerce hours and restaurant hours are not 9 to 5. So have your normal marketing crew do what they do. They create the content, but have someone monitoring these things, because the faster you attack it, the faster it will get resolved. If you let these things linger, things explode, and quickly, like steam catches. It's like a snowball. And then the last piece is setting up automations. So I know the car companies typically do a very good job with this. You go and buy a car, right? And then there's an automated email that goes out, 2 days later or 4 or 5 days later. How do you like your car? Can you leave us a review? So they give you that grace period. Now, this isn't a sales rep manually having to do this. Right. So I always say work 365 and set up automations. And if you don't have the team to work 365 days a year, Saturdays and Sundays, and perhaps some non-standard hours, then hire someone like Lori and start getting that stuff covered. Also, if you don't know how to do the technology piece, in terms of adding script or a snippet or something to a website, you can help them out with that too. But do that and set up those automations. Yeah. So, is there anything in closing that you'd like to say, and then we'll get this thing finished up?
No, the only thing I want to say is, as we said before we went on air, I mean, this pandemic we're in has affected everybody's business. It's affected mine, and the more attention you pay to your reviews right now, the better off a business is going to be, because, people are tight with money, and if they're going to spend it and they're going to take the time to leave a review, whether it's e-commerce or a coach or a service, answer your reviews. It's such goodwill for your company. And when things come back, people are going to start reading those reviews. It's just human nature. And you don't want to show a big dip in customer service because the pandemic has hit and everybody's running around like crazy, short-staffed and, cut hours and all of this kind of thing. Just keep your eye on it. That's where your customers are going to be looking. And don't ignore it. It's important.
And sometimes the biggest haters become the biggest lovers. Yes, if they're taken care of. Wrap your arms around them. Your biggest critics will become your biggest, and the story of this restaurant that you were talking about is so true. And I know for myself, like I'm a critic. I'll act out, I'll lash out in error, which is incorrect, but I'm a human being. I have 3 kids, a wife, dog, everything. I have things that come into my life, and I get to be like a rubber band sometimes. Yeah. And every once in a while, someone will catch that wrath. And it doesn't mean I'm taking them out on there, but if we work through to correct it, I always look to return favors to them. I look to return business to them. I become their biggest fan. I talk about them all the time, everything else. So, but let's end on that note. Hopefully one day we can catch up again soon and kind of perhaps you can do a screen share or dig in or even a paid session or something for everybody or a paid webinar where you can go in and kind of train them and show them the tips and tricks. I don't want to give everything away here, but I know you have some stuff you're holding in your pocket there. But
a little bit. And I have pandemic hair today, as I said before.
I have a pandemic life. It's all good.
Yeah, well, I do too. But my kids are grown. I don't have that. So other issues.
All right, so let's end on that. Lori Hurley, Social Meets Digital. Reach out to her. She is approved and ready to deliver excellent services. So thank you all so much.